The clock is ticking until the new tables arrive for phase 2 of the Lego City, which means I am running out of time to get this room ready to receive them. We did some good work earlier in the week, tidying this area up a little bit. We have some new that have arrived as well, and some big base plates to replace that with. And that end of the room is much clearer than it was before. This table is going to be leaving the room. There's 2 new tables going to be going in, and then both levels of the city are going to be extending out all the way to that Billy bookcase. But talking of the Billy bookcase, today's main job is clearing all of those instruction manuals. That is an entire shelf full of instruction manuals. There's another one of those in Anna's room, just an entire shelf full of manuals. I only have 25 of these, so I'm going to have to order some more of those, I think, but we can make a start because I've ordered a filing cabinet, which is going to have all of our instruction manuals in. This filing cabinet is not permanently going to be there. It is going to be under the new table that is going to be sat there. We're basically going to have the bricks there, and then there. That's 3, isn't it? Yeah, because these 2 won't be accessible anymore because of where the tables will be. So that unit will move down to there. That unit will move here to underneath the table that's going to be there, and then the filing cabinet will go there. So it will all fit. Falling over boxes. It will all fit, but I also need to clear as much space as possible before it arrives. So today we make a start on instruction manuals. If we get them done, we still have an awful lot of bricks to sort off the back of the first round of brick sorting that we did earlier in the week. We should probably get this put away underneath the tables as well. And I would love to get these big base plates in, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do that before the new tables come. The idea of the big base plates is the entire curve of the train track will fit on one plate rather than being across 3 plates, and it all being on one plate will make it much easier to maneuver, especially in the back areas where at the moment the train track keeps coming disconnected. So I'm going to get it on there, get it ballasted up, and then on this in-betweeny bit we're going to get this properly onto a plate and then work on a plaza area for just there, a staircase leading up to the top level where there's going to be another train station. So we're actually going to have another train track running along there. So lots to do, but to-do list item number 1, and it's not very glamorous, but sometimes Lego's not glamorous: instruction manuals. There's so much admin involved in this hobby, but there's a lot of them, and this is a big job, so I guess it's time-lapse o'clock. But let's not pretend I don't love the admin, really, especially with my particular flavour of autism. The initial setup of a new organisational system, loads of fun. Maintaining it, less so. But initial setup, I am all over that. And don't be alarmed that I appear to be slacking off by constantly picking up my phone. There's so many of these books that don't actually have the set number on the front of the book, and I was just having to constantly look them up so that I could get the correct set numbers on them. And then I realised that I'd piled them all into the top drawer of the filing cabinet, and that was making the thing topple over every time I opened it up. So I then had to move half of them down to the bottom drawer, and eventually, though, started to crack through them all. As you can see, the pile is getting smaller and smaller. I've moved on to the box that was sat next to the original pile that was on the shelf now, and we do actually get down to just the last couple before I eventually ran out of folders and had to call it a day and order some more. Well, that job is as finished as it can be before my next box of suspension files come. And we've got most of the way there. We've taken what was an entire shelf down to, there's probably maybe 10 sets in the bottom of there now. So this was the box I originally bought back when I thought that would be enough forever to keep instruction boxes in. That was obviously very ambitious. Just like in 6 months' time, I'll be calling the filing cabinet very ambitious, but that can now wait until the next box of these come. You can see I have got a few folders left over, but these things are rubbish. Several of them came already broken, like that one. That one I just snapped in half trying to figure out how to get it onto the thing at the start. So we've got like 4 or 5 left over that we can't put the clips on. What are these things called? Can you order these separately? Because I've got 2 more boxes of those that come with those. But if you have a 10% fail rate of these in every box before too long, I'm going to have loads of these left and need some more of the extra clip things. I guess they're just like suspension file label holders. I'll search for that. But this is how the filing cabinet is set up. As you can see, we are done by set number. Anna came in partway through and said she could not live in this world. She doesn't understand why I'm not just writing the name of the set on there. To me, it's very straightforward because the name of the set could be ambiguous. For example, I mean, if we just pull a random one out, what have we got here? So yeah, there you go. This is a perfect example. So this is set number, and annoyingly, they don't all have it on the front of the manual. But set number 76178, the Daily Bugle, if we were doing this alphabetically, does that get filed under M for Marvel, S for Spider-Man, D for Daily, the for the Daily Bugle? You'd just spend forever looking for it. Whereas this way, you can just look up what the set number is, and then you know exactly where it's going to be in the thing. So that seems like the easiest way to do it, at least for my autistic little mind. Now, that job didn't actually take as long as I thought it would. So I think with a couple of hours left in the day, I'm going to clear up this mess and maybe start on sorting some more bricks again, or start building the police station. No, I can't build any more Lego until I finish sorting everything. I need to sort some bricks. So, if you didn't see my previous video on sorting Lego, I had 10 kilograms of Lego that I've basically done a very rudimentary first sort on, where I've got all the bricks separated off and have several drawers full of brick. I've all the plates separated off and have several drawers full of plate. And I've got all the tiny little pieces in an area, and then I've got all these boxes just full of everything else that isn't sorted at all yet. My priority now is to get to the point where the brick and the plate and the little pieces are sorted, so I can work out how much space I've got left over, which then allows me to work out how many categories of stuff like this needs to be split into so it will fit in the drawers. So that is a multi-part process, because at the moment these drawers are full of things like this, which none of that needs to be in a drawer. None of it takes up more than one of these. Most of them don't come close to filling one of these. So what I've got for those is a bunch of these that I've purchased from B&M. If we get one of these open, you can see that these are nicely partitioned, 12 partitions in each one, and these little things like these little hearts that I got off the pick-a-brick wall at some point can go in there. So I'm going to go through all 4 of these chests of drawers and basically pull out anything silly and small like this and generate as much drawer space as possible. Ideally, I get as close as possible to one complete chest of drawers just for bricks, because then I can break them down into different sizes and shapes of brick. That's the plan. So I need to sort through all of these drawers, which is so much fun. Yeah, it's only taken me a couple of months to realise that my initial setup of just throwing everything in its own special box when it first arrived was never going to be sustainable. So this was very much a job of just emptying everything into a big bucket, basically, and letting future Kev have the job of emptying said bucket. In fact, there's 3 buckets. The big yellow buckets that you can see in the background are all just absolutely chock full now, full to the very brim with loose, bulk, random Lego. But the everything else is gone. The drawers are largely empty. There's no bags of Lego lying around the room anymore. So we are making some progress. We've got a cabinet full of bricks, a cabinet full of plates, 2 empty cabinets, and then the buckets full of everything else. So eventually I will get back to this job and finish it. Maybe. That's going to be a big job. Well, after much kerfuffle, I've now completely emptied the chest of drawers at that end and the chest of drawers at that end. You can see I've got all of my containers that were in there over here. All the little pieces are in those top 3 that aren't completely full yet. There's my pavement building box. And there's 3 at the bottom there that we haven't used yet. There's a few other bits that have just gone into here. I've also emptied all of the bags that came in those tubs, so they've been mixed into the system as well. The pick-a-brick stuff that I've been ordering lately, I'm leaving in there still bagged up for now, because they were all ordered in specific quantities for specific projects. So this is the stuff that I need for the rest of the roads, the ballasting railway, and the retaining walls, plus these little bits that came with the road plates. I didn't see any point in emptying them out, so I'll just put that to one side until I start those projects. Then I'll sort that specifically for then. And then in these 2 middle chests of drawers, This one is just pretty much full all the way with brick. Lots and lots of brick. And this one, pretty much the same with plate. But that is not a job for today because it is nearly tea time and I'm streaming tonight, so need to get things wrapped up here. But it has been productive. The next step from now is to get to the point where we can sort this down a little bit further. So all of this chest of drawers is brick. So on another day, go through that and get it sorted so that now I know I've got like 5 drawers worth of brick. We want it sorted so the bottom drawer is the big brick, the next drawer up is the slightly smaller brick, the top drawer is the smallest bricks in, for example. So maybe a drawer of 1x1 and 1x2s, a drawer of 2x2s, a drawer of 2x3s and 2x4s, etc., etc., and break it down further from there. And that's when we bring the baskets back in. So if we've got a drawer that's like half 2x3s, half 2x4s, we put one of them in each. It keeps them nicely separated off, and we use the baskets where they're needed in the process to further drill down within the drawers. Anything that would only need a container this kind of size will go in the small ones that we've got over there. I'm probably going to keep that rolly thing, maybe put it in this gap down here. I won't know how big that gap is until the new tables arrive next week, but we might move that over there and just keep those smaller containers on there. And I've got 2 completely empty chests of drawers now to go through these miscellaneous bits and put them in where they might need to be. So we are getting closer. It's certainly not a quick job. It's something I wish I'd been doing right from the very start, rather than, but I guess it's for the best that I'm doing it this early in the process still. And once it is done, as long as I stay on top of it, it should be a very nice organized system that allows me to find the bits that I need when I need them, and hopefully start spending a little bit less on pick a brick, because we've got a lot of brick here, and can hopefully start to use that in some of the modification projects that we've got coming up, because I've got the last couple of modulars to put in, and then once the new tables are here, we've got room for loads more buildings, and that's when we're going to have the more modified stuff like the Sesame Street modification, the up house. I've got several of the cozy houses. There's lots of stuff that I am going to need bits of extra brick for, so before I can move on to that stage, I need to be able to access that brick relatively easily, and of course need the stuff specifically for the other projects like the roads, the rails, the walls as well. So we are getting a little bit more organized. Things are moving along nicely. I'm still not completely ready for the new tables. This table to the side of me needs to be gone, so need to finish clearing that off and get that gone. Those lights do need to go up on this wall. I'm still planning on putting a TV on that wall as well. I've got the bracket there that I had a little bit of a look at earlier, so probably one more day of work in here needed before the new tables come, and then once they come, obviously I'll need to get them set up as well. But fingers crossed, we are very, very close to being able to move on to phase 2 of the city, get the top tier done properly, get the second train track in properly, and we are starting to roll. It's all good stuff. If you've enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on it for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.